we always say actions speak louder than words. It's one thing to say that you care. It's another thing entirely to show that you don't. And in the case of Steph Curry, he does not care about anything related to justice. Why? Because he has invested millions upon millions of dollars in two companies run and staffed by former Unit 8200 Israeli spies. And that's not the only ones. There's a lot more to it than that. American basketball star Steph Curry is investing in tech startups run by former IOF. You know, you got to give it to wear the peace. They follow Jen's lead. They are not the IDF. They are the IOF. In tech startups run by former IOF operatives who were integral to building Israel's digital architecture of apartheid and genocide. Curry, considered one of the sport's all-time greats and who positions himself as an advocate for social justice, has invested in the companies both run and staffed by former Israeli spies. Zaffron Security, which Curry's firm backed in a $30 million funding round in 2024, is run by Santez Yasher, an Iranian raised in Tehran who was recruited as a teenager by Israel and spent 15 years as a spy within Unit 8200, the arm of the IOF which intercepts and hacks communications. Her time in the IOF encompassed numerous assaults on Gaza, including the 2014 bombardment of the territory, which killed over 2,200 Palestinians, and the 2018-19 March of Return, which saw Israeli snipers murder hundreds and deliberately maim thousands. Yasher's co-founders at the cybersecurity startup Ben Siri and Snir Hafadallah are also former Israeli intelligence officers. Hafadallah served for a decade in Unit 8200, while Siri served in Unit 81, which is focused on building the offensive cyber weapons that Israel uses against the Palestinians, Iran, and others. Yasher, Siri, and Hafadallah were all awarded prizes for their IOF work. Curry's other co-investor is Zaffron Cyberstarts, which was founded by Gili Ronan, a senior figure in Israel's military intelligence establishment. Ronan spent 15 years in 8200 and was awarded one of Israel's top prizes for IOF veterans, the Presidential Defense Prize, for his role in creating Israel's apartheid infrastructure. The other Israeli cyber company financially backed by Curry is cloud security startup Upwind, founded by Imram Shahar, Lavi Ferdman, and Liran Palak, who all met while serving in the IOF's Mamram unit. Mamram is the computing arm which builds and maintains all the software for the Israeli military and through which all signals intelligence is processed. Shortly after founding the firm, the three former Mamram agents hired Chief Operating Officer Tomar Hadassi, a 8200 veteran. And so you have to imagine that this company in question here, it's I would say Upwind is the equivalent of Palantir. That's what it sounds like to me. And so in October of 23, LinkedIn post Upwind said that many of their team in Israel had been drafted as reservists to participate in the genocide of Gaza. On LinkedIn last year, Upwind CEO Shahar posted a picture of himself with Curry. So that's what you have. And if you could go all the way to the front, Colin, please. First slide. I want this image I want people to remember this image when they think of Steph Curry. I want them to remember that this is who he is. This is a man who says one thing and does another. And I don't want to hear nothing about how he has funded Palestinian support groups. This is the stuff that really matters. Because when you're investing in Israeli tech, what you're really investing in is death squads, the ability to bomb, shoot, maim, whatever. That is the intention of what these Israeli cybersecurity firms are all about. Now, why would somebody like Steph Curry be involved in something like this? Why would he feel the need to put a substantial amount of the money he's earned into investing in an Israeli firm? Well, the first and most logical answer is it pays well. We're going to give you 5x on your money. Give us 5 million. We'll give you 25 before it's all said and done. Or maybe he's just a cruel son of a bitch and he just doesn't care. Whatever the reasoning is, there is no defense of this. And when you consider the two, we'll just say, greatest basketball players of this current generation, LeBron James and Steph Curry, it's easy to see why millions upon millions of people have turned away from the NBA, and rightfully so. I mean, the product is terrible. The players are overpaid. They take time off when they shouldn't. And then on top of everything else, you have the two most recognizable figures in the sport basically just being shitty humans. So why in the hell would you follow the sport? This is not the NBA of Magic, Bird, and Michael. Those days are gone. Heck, the days of Kobe, Duncan, Dirk, and Garnett are gone. This is a completely different era that we're living in now. And yes, Bird is the word, as the saying goes. Jalen Brunson is maybe the one true star in the NBA today who I would say is an exceptional person. But again, we don't know them personally. Now we know Steph Curry personally because he's showing you what he's capable of. What he's capable of is being a bloodthirsty son of a bitch. Because why else would he be involved in this? And there is simply no excuse. You can't have this amount of money, connection, and activist involvement not to know where this money's going, not to know what your level of involvement with this organization represents. What does it represent? It represents genocide. It represents the continuation of a genocide that never needed to happen, never should have happened, and is still happening right now. The person who has been stone silent about this, that shouldn't be, that should be saying something right now, is Steve Kerr, his own coach, who always seems to have an opinion, especially about the Donald and every terrible thing he does. Well, you know what? Steph Curry is a genocider by proxy. He has invested millions of dollars in technology that has mass murdered Palestinians for the past 2.5 years. Where's the lie? Tell me I'm wrong. There is no sugarcoating this. Steph Curry's legacy should be absolutely, unequivocally ruined for this. And you thought LeBron James was ruining his legacy over the past decade plus with massive media manipulation, among other things, threats, control of beat reporters and whatnot? Yeah, that's terrible. And I can't stand LeBron James, but that is nothing compared to this. This is complicity in mass murder. And I want everyone to speak truth on this. Because if there's one thing I know about Steph Curry, he's a soft little bitch, and he doesn't like being criticized. And I know that when this gets back to him, he's not going to like it. And that's great. I hope he sees it. And I hope he feels it right here in his gut. Your playing days are coming to an end pretty soon. And he's still one of the best players in the league, which also goes to show you how the sport has evolved. Not only for the worse, but the conditioning is just top notch on top of maybe not so, we'll say honest means as far as body maintenance, we'll say. But with that being said, he's a hell of a player. He is an all-time great, and he will go down as a genocide enabler.